So they'll DO you, and then that means you can never get out. Like, you don't have a date. They DO you, which means like they'll let you out when they think you're better, more or less, which is never, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's real scary when you have a lot of violent charges and stuff like that. I was worried they were going to try to do that to me because most of my charges were all assault and assault caused bodily harm, assault with a weapon, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know in the States they do it where it's like if you keep doing the same thing, they keep going harder, right? Well, here they do that, but they don't have like a thing here where it's like 3-strike rule. You know, like where if you do the 3 felony 3 times in a row, they kind of like you're gone for a long, long time. Where here, I got like 10 assault charges. You know, so there I think I would be doing 20 years down in the U.S.
If they were all felonies, yeah, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been a decade. It would have been friggin'. I still wouldn't be out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, they don't like that. If you keep
crazy. The only reason, because here back then we used to get 2 for 1, so that's one thing that saved me from doing a lot of time. Was saved me a few pen bids. Was doing like, 18 months times 2 is counted for a 3-year. 20 months times 2, 40 months.
Can you do that long in the county out here?
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, see, that's the difference here. The super jails here, guys are used to staying in this counties for 3, 4, 5 years at a time, where you have to have 2 or more years to go to the penitentiary here. Where I heard there it's just a year or more, right? So it's a little different. Guys stay in the county a lot longer here.
Yeah. They try not. The longest bid I've ever seen in the county out here was 4 years. Okay. But that's very rare. Extremely rare.
See, they took it away because that's what everyone was doing. Everyone was just sitting doing dead time. Nobody wanted to plead out and go, because then you would have to do 2/3 where you were getting 2 for 1. So everyone was just holding out doing dead time, right?
Yeah. That's what they do in the joint out there is 2/3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're gonna get 2 for 1s, you might as well.
Yeah. But the thing is, you don't have nothing, right? You're in that orange jumper. You don't have TV, you don't have a radio. It's hard time, bro. Like, that was the 10 years I did was all jail. It was brutal. It was like a lot of guys, they'll go do like 3 years. They don't realize that 3 years they did in the pen goes a lot quicker when you have your own TV to sit back and just do whatever. You know what I mean? When you got a celly and you got nothing, that's some serious, like, it's the only entertainment they have is fighting. So the gangs just basically, it's their entertainment. Friday night fight night, and like, that's why it's so violent in there. And then with the only feeding these guys, grown men, 200-pound men, the littlest bit of food, tiniest little portions, that's making people hangry. Like, they're hungry. They're being angry because they're so hungry, man.
In the jails, starve you in the jails, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure they do. So I know you have your Rocky Mountain oyster sauce. You're very successful with that. So you're an entrepreneur. I know you. What made you start the change your life around and want to start this whole social media thing?
What made me want to change my life around is an indictment came down. My partners got indicted, and I was lucky enough to not be involved in it, to not have anything to do with it. And some people rolled, and that had played a big part in it. You know what I mean? Because that, there was, I would say there was some suspicions that we had recruited more people than we should have. We should have kept the circle tighter. And whenever the indictment came down, those suspicions were confirmed. And so that was kind of my cue to exit stage left. I was in good standing. I remained in good standing and said, that's my cue to get the hell out of here while I'm in good standing. I'm not indicted. I'm not any of that. You know what I mean? And so I walked on down to the whatchamacall. I was in Pier 1 at the time. I had been in Pier 1 for about a year, which is a long-term treatment program. This is what they actually offered me some help. Like I said, this last case that I caught, they offered me some help. And I was about a year into that, and I went down to the local community college and I signed up, and that's been it. You know, that was about 6 years ago, and I just graduated finally with a bachelor's.
Nice.
And I just never looked back. You know, I never really dropped out or anything. I just kind of just walked away and just got my life together. You know.
Makes sense. And what made you start the YouTube channel?
Honestly, I don't know exactly what made me start it. I mean, I started it because I was making commercials for some of my customers. I would make commercials for them, and the best way to show it to them, because a lot of them didn't have computers that could, or they didn't have phones that could, like, I'd make like a 3 or 4 minute video for them. Their phone couldn't play it, or we couldn't transfer it because it would be too heavy, be too big of a file, right? So I said, the hell with it. I'll just put it on YouTube and I'll make it unlisted and send you the link, right?
Okay.
So that's how I first started learning YouTube, was because I was making videos for people and sending them links to show, oh, do you like this? Do you want me to change something? Do you want this or that? It was just easier to share the link than it was to actually send the physical video. And then I don't know, Vegas Prison Stories had a lot to do with it. Whenever his channel was Vegas Prison Stories, because he talked to me, you know what I mean? I was trying to figure out a way to get somebody to talk to me. I had like 30 or 40 subscribers, just my family and stuff, you know what I mean? But it was like, how can I get somebody to talk to me about something, you know what I mean? And I waited. I don't remember what it was, but Vegas said something about prison, something that was like, I was like, that tells me that he knows about this and this. And so I threw some things in there in the chat, some criminal stuff that only criminals know about. You know what I mean? I don't remember what it was, but I was like, let's just see if he bites. You know what I mean? And he did. He was like, oh yeah, I like this dude. He knew right away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was a big part of it right there, was just trying to flag people down. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do, you know?
Right. Do you like what you're doing on social media?
Yeah, I love my channel. I love my channel. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I love YouTube, man. I know a lot of people have a lot of problems with YouTube, or they say, oh, they censor and this and that. But, you know, YouTube allows billions of people around the planet to, you know, or over 1 billion people all across the planet, homie, it hosts, it lets you post videos, it lets you go live, it lets you, there's all kinds of infrastructure. That stuff costs money.
Yeah,
you know
I love
mean?
YouTube as well, man. And, you know, just being the chance to come out of, you know, being locked up, and, you know, a lot of guys like us can't just go out and get jobs, like, easily, right? So to turn around and having guys that are basically in there for so long, politicking and speaking anyways, you know what I mean? That's what you do the whole time when you're in there, is speaking with your people, right? So then when you come out, if you want to turn your life around, I like how this YouTube thing, you can turn your life around and work hard and, you know, pick up a camera, pick up a mic, instead of picking up a gun and a mask, and, you know.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So what do you do in the meantime to keep you going, like, like, financial wise, like, for full-time work, or
I do
it's a secret?
I do some consulting. I do a little bit of consulting. I actually manage another YouTube channel for a woman who's a doctor. I don't put her out there because I don't want the trolls, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But I actually manage an account with about 40,000 subscribers. So I do that for her. That's like my part-time gig. And I do like banquets and stuff like that. I'll do banquets and catering, part-time sometimes, you know what I mean? Pay the bills, make the ends meet. I've done well in the stock market the last couple years, so that has really, I mean, last year was kind of a bloodbath, but it all worked out, though. It all worked out. I took my losses when appropriately. Last year, my taxable income was like $6,000. because they couldn't tax me on anything, dude. Last year was a bloody year in the stock market, and so I ended up getting a nice return. I actually played it the right way. That helped too.
Nice.
You know.
It's good. And you had put yourself through school. You were just saying earlier in the interview, so that's, a big accomplishment there. What do you think on guys coming out and trying to get their own place? Because, it was really hard for me to get my own place when I came out. You just basically put out there with nothing, and, no resources, no nothing. They just expect you to come out of prison or jail and just be a law-abiding citizen with nowhere to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I think that it's gotten so much harder. I don't know how it was where you were at, but out here, like whenever I was young, whenever I was getting out of prison, apartments were still like $300-400. You could still get an apartment for like $400 or $500. So first month's rent plus deposit was $1,000. You know what I mean? At $10 an hour, if you could sleep on your mom's couch for a month and just go get a job at McDonald's or wherever, you know what I mean, and work your ass off for a month and a half, you'd have enough money. As long as your mom wasn't charging you rent, you'd have enough money to go get into an apartment. Now,
it's nuts.
It's 5 racks.
Yeah.
To get into an apartment here in Denver. So I can't imagine trying to get on your feet in this. I don't know how long it would take you to, obviously the wage is more now, but it's still going to take you, with that 5 racks, it's still going to take you 3 or 4 months to save that $5,000, even if you're working balls out, just because the price of everything has gone crazy. The price of food, the price to exist, the price of everything, And you're lucky these days if mom's around and can actually give you free rent. Good luck with that.
Yeah, exactly. I lived on my own since I was 15, and when I came out this time, it was $1,350 what I'm paying. So it was $2,700 to do the first and last, and then you got to pay bills too, right? Like internet and cable, all that, whatever you got going on and stuff. And now that was like back in 2017. So now it's like you said, if I left this apartment and went somewhere else, I wouldn't be able to get it for $1,350. This same apartment would be like $2,000 right now. Mm-hmm. But because I've been here so long, they don't up the rent. They can only up it a certain percentage if you don't leave, right?
Yeah.
If you leave, they can renovate it and up it to as much as they want.
Oh, that's how it works out there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually in the same position. I pay $1,850 for a 3-bedroom. It's a 3-bedroom townhome with a front and a backyard. It's pretty damn big. It's actually pretty big, and it would rent for about $2,300-2,400 normally. But I've been here for like 8 years, 9 years, something like that. So, yeah.
See, I just have a 2-bedroom. Originally, kept getting the 2-bedroom just because I originally had it for my game room, and then I converted it into the office for the YouTube channel.
Nice. It's nice to have your own little office, huh? This is actually my dining room. I ended up just turning my dining room into a studio. I put the curtains up and stuff.
That's why I always paid the extra for the, instead of a 1-bedroom, getting the 2-bedroom always, because, the 1-bedroom's just too small for me, because with the, the collecting and stuff like that, I got a lot of stuff, right? So.
What do you collect?
I collect, gaming consoles. I got like over 1,000 DVDs. Just, entertainment, more or less.